Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, where we are unveiling ClearPoint Next, the most powerful and user-friendly version of ClearPoint strategy yet. I'm excited to introduce Matt Pennypacker, one of ClearPoint's account executives, who will be walking you through a host of new features designed to make strategy management easier, faster, and more intuitive than ever before. The audience will be muted for the duration of this webinar, but we encourage you to submit any questions into the Q&A tab. Without further delay, take it away, Matt.
Yep, thanks, Jenna. Really excited to be here today and showcase ClearPoint Next. As people kind of filter in, just wanted to kind of introduce myself. As Jenna said, I'm an account executive here. Some of the people on the meeting today might have had conversations with me either in the past or currently, and we're definitely very excited for this new user interface and some of the features and functionalities that are rolling out with ClearPoint Next, which is what I'm planning on showcasing today. For those of you that are curious, just so you know, you're going to see a lot of similar items if you've used ClearPoint. Maybe you're a current client or you're looking at ClearPoint strategy now. None of the functionality has changed in terms of the terminology we use in here and scorecards and the elements involved. So you'll see a lot of that. But really, I'm going to be highlighting some of the new features that we're very excited about in terms of what the end user experience is going to be, as well as some of the ways that we're improving upon filtering reports and getting data up into executive leadership's hands to be able to make those good strategic decisions going forward. So without further ado, I will kind of hop in here. So what you'll notice here is I am looking at our city scorecard. So we're in Metropolis City, which is a fake city of ours, in our demo environment. Underneath the city scorecard is our departments. So we have our community development department, parks and recreation, fire department. You can have an unlimited number of scorecards in ClearPoint. By the way, all the terminology in here is customizable too. So if you find yourself using different terms, you will absolutely be able to change that. But for today's purposes, this is what we're going to stick to. As I scroll down, this is my welcome page in our account where I'm linking some of my key reports from each department, showcasing some key indicators, and then I'll show my scorecard down below. So this is basically my strategic plan in Metropolis. I break down my strategic plan by priority areas or focus areas. I've heard it called pillars of focus before. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that people will slice and dice their strategy. But underneath our priorities, you can see that we keep to those strategic objectives in ClearPoint, any KPIs or measures that you might be tracking, as well as any projects or initiatives. So for those joining that haven't seen ClearPoint, there is a project management aspect to ClearPoint. I can highlight that in future calls as well, but for now, I'm going to stick to some of the newer functionality within ClearPoint Next here. So as I mentioned, the base functionality of ClearPoint is similar for those that have used ClearPoint, where you can drill down into each of these items in the strategy. So I'm going to click into this objective. It will basically take me to what I define as an objective dashboard here. This is giving me all the information that I care about when talking about my objective to have financial health. So I'm showing a description, an owner, any KPIs that are linked directly to this objective, any items linked from other departments. I'm showing some qualitative analysis and recommendations as well. And obviously you can see that right now there's not a ton of analysis, so I can double click to edit this. And for those of you that have seen this before, you can summarize the data in ClearPoint using our AI functionality. We're very excited about this. So when you do that, it will produce summary data for you, or summary or qualitative information for you. Essentially what the AI does, just as a really short answer here, it's taking a look at all of your measures and anything that's linked to this objective, whether it's from other departments, and it is summarizing that information, which we can then copy and paste into the analysis field, hit save. We could do the same thing with recommendations in ClearPoint Next as well, where we're telling the system, hey, could you please take a look at my analysis and recommend items based off of that? So you can see now it's producing 3 recommendations here, and we can kind of copy and paste. So obviously you can kind of leverage that more than you have in the past, or you could drill down into these measures too. So I'll take a look. When we talk about measures, we're talking about key KPIs, performance indicators that you're looking at, and just raw data in general, typically, where we have a target line, we have our actual bars. You could see that we've actually upgraded and updated the charting in here, which I will give an example here in just a second. But all of our data tables and everything is still in here. I do see a question in the chat. Is there a limit to the levels in the plan? We're working on a 5-level plan and are struggling to find options for tracking that type. The answer is no, there's not any limitations. Like, as you can see, and I'm not sure who asked that, but as you can see here, we do have multiple levels within this plan. So right now we're looking at the top level city scorecard. But we can drill down into the department level. We can drill down into divisions, or however you kind of slice and dice that. I'd have to learn a little bit more about what you mean by levels to really understand it, but I could easily customize that to meet the kind of levels that you're talking about. Moving on here, you'll see that I do have projects in here as well that I can click into. So really, I'm just drilling down into my plan. And as mentioned, you can keep this cascading down as far down as you need to. But all this data would feed up into our strategic objectives. And that kind of takes me into a good segue to showcase some of our strategy reporting options. So what you're seeing here is our top level initiative, and then any milestones that are associated with this in the Gantt chart. I do want to highlight that these Gantt charts, the shaded regions, which are kind of tough to see right now, but they're percent completions on each milestone and the initiative itself. So obviously you can see, within this milestone, within these milestones, I could drill down even further if I had to. Some of the reports in ClearPoint Next have been, we'll say, enhanced. I think the key one to look at is the dashboarding. If you've used ClearPoint in the past or have seen ClearPoint, we've updated in the charts, so it's a lot more modern here. And you can easily see, we have all the types of charts with line, bar charts, really gauge charts. We've added a lot more charting options into ClearPoint Next, so you can kind of see that here on this dashboard. And it's also really easy to customize the color schemes in here. When you click on the settings, you could be taken to this area where I can easily change, right now we're in spooky season, right, with Halloween. So I can change it to maybe more of an orange color if I wanted to. I can also change this to, black or whatever that needs to look like. And if I go back to that dashboard report, you should see that our charts have changed to more of an orange-black look. So just wanted to highlight, very easy to customize, get that nice visual summary level data. Also, something else to point out, if you're looking at summary reports, is our matrix look. So this report is very popular, where you have different rows and columns of data, and you can easily add columns to this or remove columns based on what you're trying to look at. So if I need to take away, say, this analysis, we have dynamic reporting now in ClearPoint, so you're easily able to update kind of the ways that you're looking at your information. So I just am highlighting that to start off, just to showcase, if you have used ClearPoint, a lot of the main functionality and core functionality is still in ClearPoint Next. We haven't obviously removed that, as it is very awesome that we were able to kind of drill down into our strategy and our scorecards some more. But what I really wanted to highlight today are two items in ClearPoint Next that we're very excited about. The workspaces that you'll notice here that are at the top, as well as the workflows. So I'm going to show you kind of the end user look and feel, how people can easily update from an individual contributor and what that would feed up into. And I'm going to go through dynamically updating some of the ways that you're looking at your strategic elements. I think a lot of leadership wants to really be able to hone in and break down on the strategy so that they can see it in a way that's easily consumable. So we're making it that much easier in ClearPoint, and that's what we're super pumped about. So I'm going to start off in our workspaces. Now, for those of you that use ClearPoint workspaces, we very much encourage this.